2-O's Flint to advance to the top 4. Level 99 2-O's Turtwig Data. Wizard 2-O's Trainer Chris. And now we get into the highlight matchup. Two former winners, Clyde and Patriots 34. Between these two players, they have 4 major event wins. Patriots has won 2 weekly invitationals. Clyde has won a weekly invitational and the Season 1 championship.
Big winners.
Very exciting. Both also innovative deck builders who did it with decks of their own creation. So I'll be very excited to see how this one goes. First game of the round. Clyde versus Patriots. Clyde is running the Three Musketeers split deck that we saw him run a little bit earlier with Mega Minion. Patriots is running his patented
without lightning.
Yeah, Expo deck, but this time Poison instead of Lightning. Why do you think he would switch out Lightning for Poison?
I'm interested. I'm trying to think about that myself. I mean, with all this talk about lightning, we've really just put lightning in this scenario where it's kind of much better than it was before. I can't imagine why you would replace a card that was already working in your deck. Patriots crossbow deck used 2 cards, lightning and log, that were and crossbow, I suppose, that were all looked at as not the greatest cards, right? Before they were even buffed. Now you got log buffed, you got lightning buffed. I can't see why you would change it, but maybe Patriots has identified something that helps out defend the crossbow, maybe. I'm not really sure.
With all the giant bowler Prince decks out there, he realized he needed a cheaper slow effect, something like Poison, whereas Lightning, it doesn't really kill any of those cards. It leaves the push pretty much full strength to knock your tower down. Clyde, okay, so what you're looking for with this deck, if you've never really seen the Three Musketeer split decks before, is he's running a lot of cheat cards. Everything in the deck costs 3 or less. And a lot of them cost 1 and 2. The idea there is he's going to split the 3 Musketeers behind the King Tower or in front of the King Tower, and then try to get a tank in each lane. So like a knight in front of 1 Musketeer and the miner in front of the 2 Musketeers, and basically put 2 similar pushes on each of your lanes at the exact same time. And the opponent can normally not really have the cards to deal with both. Like if you have Knight, Musketeer, Mega Minion. That's 10 elixir, 1 lane. If you've got 2 Musketeers in a miner, other lane, that's 9 elixir. 19 elixir coming across the bridge at the exact same time in both lanes. How do you stop that with less than 10 elixir and only 2 to 3 cards? You know, very, very difficult.
All right. I saw in chat that one of the things that somebody identified is against Lava Hounds, which is actually an interesting proposition. Poison certainly does work better against things like pups and whatnot. And Lava Hound is one of the decks that has interesting interactions against the crossbow deck. Kind of double-edged sword where, well, you can't really kill the Lava Hound effectively, but the crossbow, you can't tank the crossbow.
Yeah, the advantage of siege decks right now in the metagame is that so many people are playing big tanks in the back or playing elixir collectors that those are great opportunities for you to drop an expo or a mortar right at the river. Great fire spirits to predict the early dropping of the guards, and just like that, the Mega Minion tears it up with very, very little damage on the tower. Well, anyways, so yeah, you're right. Lava Hound is actually, even though it's got a good matchup against Giant Bowler and a good matchup against these Miner Inferno decks, terrible matchup against Expo and Mortar decks, because when you put 7 elixir on the back, people can drop their Expos and get a lot of damage on your tower every single time. It's almost impossible to play the Lava Hound safely.
Man, those minions did a lot of damage.
Yes, they had a nice Spirit Escort. I think that Knight's going to be really good against the Expo when it comes down. It tanked it for a long time. It chopped through all the weenies in front.
Yeah, one of the key things you're looking for is hit points for the cost. You just want to soak. One of the original counters to Mortar, when Mortar and Expo were so dominant, was simply just a giant in the middle. We remember from the Helsinki tournament, Jason the Giant, countered Steroidy in the finals, who was playing a Mortar deck by simply playing the giant in the middle. If you'd like to see more of that, make sure to check out our History of the Metagame series, where our most recent episode covered the Helsinki tournament on our YouTube channel, SuperMagicalCup.
Yes. Thank you very much for the insert there.
I am a promotion machine.
What's that shirt you're wearing?
It's a cat with money.
Money. All right.
Cashcats.net.
877 health on the left side tower for Patriots, and he's getting beat up. He can't set up his crossbow.
Yeah.
He really hasn't been able to find the opportunity. I mean, Clyde is on the offense here.
He was able to stop that 3 Musketeers split push, but we're not in double elixir yet.
Yeah, and that's really when it gets challenging. Once you get the double elixir in the double elixir time, it's easy to split your Musketeers and then cycle back so quickly that you have another set of Musketeers coming across as the first one is crossing the river. And that's when you're in real actual trouble. Great opportunity though, great timing. He played the Expo exactly when you would want to. When the opponent's putting 9 elixir on the board to get the Musketeers out, that's exactly kind of when you have the best opportunity to get your thing out. But he wasn't able to really counter it. The Knight, once again, earns that keep.
Oh, nice.
Tags onto the mini P.E.K.K.A. rather than the tower.
But that mini P.E.K.K.A. took enough damage where I don't think it's really a threat to the tower.
Yes.
But you're right, the Patriots is going to need something. It's so far away from killing a tower right now that he needs pretty much not just an Expo to go off, but like a full health and permanent, you know, like a completely clean Expo in order to take that tower.
Yeah, man, and the Mega Minion took a few swipes at the crossbow, and that's going to decrease the effectiveness of the push by an insane amount. Everything has to go right in a crossbow build to be able to do damage. And
I think actually Mega Minion might be another one of those cards that's shifted around in what other people are playing that has really hurt Expo. It can't be shot, right? It's the only thing that really kills it in the Expo deck is Inferno Tower, maybe? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
It's
not
really
a lot of good answers for that card.
It's funny, if he had the lightning, he could deal with the knight maybe, but the knight just keeps stopping.
That would be a great example because he could, especially in this specific matchup, he could have lightning the 3 Musketeers or, of course, lightning the knight and a Musketeer and a tower or whatever, clear the way. Unfortunately, though, I think Patriots knows the jig is up.
Yeah.
The jig is up. He tags on.
There's actually, now that I think about it, there's actually no spells in, I mean, there's only zap. He could zap twice if he really wanted to. And actually, if I'm Clyde, I might just go ahead and zap twice. Just
twice. Just do it.
I don't think there's anything close to a tower falling down here.
Yeah, yeah. Man, Patriots 34.
There's the zap.
So the question is,
for the
will
win.
Patriots stay on the deck?
Yeah, it's right. So Clyde's 3 Musketeer deck is out. Cannot be played for the rest of the round. Patriots has the option to stick with his Expo deck or switch to his other deck, whatever his other deck actually ends up being.
I like watching Expo games because it's kind of like those Sherlock Holmes like slow motion fights where you're just like, and I'll block here, and then I'll come here, and then I'll come here. And whoever ends up on top there is who ends up winning the encounter. And you only need to win that once with Expo to take a tower down.
Yes.
But that knight made sure every time that Clyde came out on top.
So here we go. Let me switch to the sides for him real fast. Clyde is going with... the hell is this? All right, let me get this thing set up here. Patriots is playing his Expo deck still, but what is this deck that Clyde is playing? I've never seen this before. It's like a triple legendary deck with a bunch of air support and a lightning. What do you see here?
A lot of minions, a lot of damage. He's basically got air in terms of damage. So minor minion horde gets taken to the extreme, where it's now minor, mega minion horde, whatever you can throw, whatever is in your cycle. And it really just seems like he's going to rely on the sturdiness of Princess Ice Wizard as a combination, and then use Ice Spirit as a cycle and a good 1 elixir card, then play minor plus any assortment of minions to try to do damage.
Yeah, so Clyde in chat's saying this is his blue deck. Every card in the deck is blue, and that's how he built it. I don't believe that. I think he's playing a little rope it up. If I had to guess what this deck does, it uses its really strong air cards, right? The minor, the minion variants, all the triple minions, right? And then you have minor to make a counter push out of anything, and then of course you have the lightning. Minor lightning can be really strong because if you go to minor their elixir collector and they drop like a mini P.E.K.K.A. or a Valkyrie to defend, you can just lightning the collector, tower, and Valkyrie and be like, oh, you know, hooray! So I think that will be probably what we'd like to look for. A sort of minor lightning is one package of offense. Another package of offense is defending with the air units and then countering with either the minor or the Ice Wizard tanking. Princess is a card we haven't seen a lot of today, and I think would be good against all these air decks, but it's sort of a weird matchup against Patriots deck because the Expo can reach further than the Princess and just kill it right away. And
And this time around, it looks like Patriots has a lot more tools for that like Expo Judo we were just talking about. Like if Clyde's going to answer with all these minions, well, he's got both Fire Spirits to deal with it. He's got a poison.
It's a good point, though. Yeah,
If he comes in on the ground, the log can push him away, and the guards can get in front.
The lightning might be really strong too, though, because you could lightning the Expo and the tower.
I think it does like half damage to the. Or
No, it does full of the Expo.
No, I mean half.
Half of the Expo's damage. Yeah.
So it still kicks around for another 1,000 damage or so.
All right.
That's true. Clyde is also a free-to-play player. Worth mentioning. Still free-to-play. Despite winning hundreds of dollars from us, has opted to spend it all on himself and his girlfriend, and not on more cards. Ooh, great last-minute block there. The Ice Wizard actually jumped in front of the Princess to guard the Princess for a few shots. The Expo was about to lock on. But there you go. That half-health Expo can do a decent amount of damage. Great poison there to react. It's going to stop really the entire minion horde from doing any damage.
And the guards caught the miner. So no damage on that tower.
That's right. Great there. We're going to go ahead and get the Princess before it shoots once. Log, I mean, that was the original thing when Log came out that people were excited about. Princess was all over the place, one of the most dominantly played cards in the game. And one of the things everyone were happy about was like, oh, I wish there was a way to counter Princess for less than 3 elixir. The big problem with Princess is that everything that kills her either involves you taking damage or spending more elixir until the log was released.
Yes. It's super important for the meta too. It really changes it a lot. Because Princess is still, even with the log existing, is
right.
You know.
Ooh. So those Fire Spirits come in, but that Mega Minion again is proving to be such a good counter to the Expo. There's not a lot of things in Patriots' deck to be able to deal with that. I almost think that Patriots' deck wants like Musketeer, because you can play it behind the Expo and it reaches in front of the Expo to shoot whatever's there.
Or Archers.
Yeah. Archers have a little bit short of a range, though, which might make that slightly less effective. But I agree. Like, you almost want something to stand behind and shoot all the junk that comes up first.
I'm just thinking cheap so you can get those spirits
good call.
in front.
All right. Well, Patriots has found much more success than in the last match, and Clyde, I feel like, hasn't shown the true fury of the minion mauling.
Yeah.
Oh, the Fire Spirits didn't get to jump.
Yeah, they got shot a little first. So the
They
deploy
got frozen, and deployed
both
slow.
Ice Spirits and Fire Spirits are incredibly vulnerable to the deploy time. They take a second before they deploy, and then there's a quick second before they kind of do their jump or move. So if you can get that damage in there in about that second and a half from summon to jump, you can just kill them before they do anything.
Here it comes. This is a big one. But I think they're all going to pop to the poison. And really, I mean, the only damage Clyde has been able to do is with Princess. Crossbow gets set up. Ice Wizard cross the bridge, and I think the Ice Spirit's going to jump on the guards. Oh my!
Ooh, wow! That unfortunate, the preemptive minion horde there getting predicted by the poison. That might be that actually might be the deciding factor here because I'm watching. Oh, here comes Mega Minion. Oh, and the Ice Spirit doesn't go. If that Ice Spirit would have jumped, I think that would have been enough. But unfortunately, the Ice Spirit got killed by the Mega Minion during that 1 second that we were just talking about, and it got it close. If there was still, again, we mentioned if there's lightning in this deck, we might actually have a better shot. I think we need to see a poison come down there, though. Opts not to poison instead. And actually, I think the Fire Spirits was a much better play than the poison. I was wrong there. I thought he could have poisoned, but he got away with just as effective of a defense with less time.
All right, he needs to figure out a way to push this Ice Wizard out of the area. And it looks like it will take
it does log on. Oh, and that's really close.
Poison time.
Poison's done, yeah. So if he can just win the game here. So Patriots ties it up.
Wow.
We are going to a Game 3, the first Game 3 of the top 8 this week, as Patriots takes Game 2 from Clyde with his trusty, rusty Expo deck.
Whew, I don't have that much faith in the Minion Horde spam deck. It's not spell baity enough. It has a lot of good targets to use spells on, but it's not baiting it. It's just like, that's good. You know? It's good to use the spells on that.
So this is the first match that we'll actually have seen in the top 8 where we see both players' alternate decks. So Patriots can no longer play the Expo deck as he's already won with it. Clyde cannot play his original Three Musketeers deck. So what are their alternate decks? We know Clyde is running this triple legendary Mega Minion deck. Patriots is rolling up with the Minor Inferno deck that has been his sort of default second deck this whole time. He plays the Expo, very much a Siege player. Siege decks opt to win by playing on their side of the board, forcing you to come to them. If you don't win, they grind you out with long-range attacks. This Minor Inferno deck is probably the siegiest of Siege decks out there. Pure defense, running both Mini P.E.K.K.A. and Mega Minion, which is sort of a unique choice. Neither Bowler or Ice Wizard, which kind of a surprising choice. I feel like those are probably the two premier defensive troops in the game right now. Opting instead to really try to get damage in with these Mega Minion and Mini P.E.K.K.A. counterattacks. Andrew, what do you see with these matchups here?
We'll have to see if Patriots picks up on it early enough, but because he has the Elixir Collector, he can actually overload Clyde's Minor. Clyde's relying on that Minor to get in those minions to do a lot of damage, and if he has to spend it to keep up with the purple game, he might not have it for any of his pushes. And then I don't know how Clyde can put together a good push.
There's also, and real quick before we start, there's also the key things of that. Alternatively, Clyde could also put together crazy good pushes because if he can get the Minor on the Elixir Collector and be tanking the tower at the same time, he sort of gets double duty.
That's why I mean it depends on how quick Patriots notices it. Because if he puts the Elixir Collector in the middle, then those Minors just melt from both towers shooting at it.
Saying, yeah. I think the Ice Wizard's going to be really key here for Clyde. Of all the cards in his deck, they're all really good, but the minions are shockingly not going to be that good because they can get zapped or poisoned off the board. But the Ice Wizard is going to slow down Mini P.E.K.K.A. Minions. The guards are really weak to them as well. So I think Ice Wizard might be the key card here for Clyde's deck. Whether or not he knows it off the bat, we'll see.
All right. takes first blood with the Ice Spirit. There it is. Oh no, both the towers are shooting at you and you got guarded.
Yep.
Did he try and... Was that a trick?
Yeah,
He went to the left tower even though the minions were on the right.
Yeah.
I think he was trying to outplay
I think he was trying to get
down the elixir collector.
I think the minions are dead no matter what. So the idea there was that the opponent is going to expect you to play it on the right side and play their defense on the right side. Patriots was a little like ahead of the game there. I think he probably read the pathing and got the guards down just at the last minute. Ooh, Princess is so much harder to get to work around in a world of Mega Minion, because Mega Minion just kills it at the river in one swing and then is a counter push. You got to deal with the counter push. But look at that, Clyde just spent 6 elixir to counter a 3 elixir.
Oh no, the King Tower activation could happen.
But not if you have to not defend it.
Yes.
If you defend it at all, the miner will die. But you're right, like there is an interesting play there where you can just let that elixir collector go and get the King Tower activated.
The other thing that was bad about that was the miner was actually too far away on the backside, and so the single minion got tagged on by the tower rather than onto the miner, and that could have changed everything.
Yep.
Ooh, once again, Mega Minions just answered Princess just definitively. And if you ignore it like this, like the first time he spent too much elixir, and now he got a swing or two, right?
Oh.
It might have been 2 swings if that minion hadn't taken a little chip damage off it too, right at the river.
All right. Took a few swings at the collect. Oh, interesting.
Ooh. Unfortunately, those guards are going to come in and probably do a good amount of damage there because the Ice Wizard is not a fast killer of anything.
Yeah. Decent. A decent push.
And just like that, Clyde finds himself both behind in the elixir game and behind in tower damage. Both of his towers have less damage than Patriot's healthiest tower.
That's a
and
free
Patriot's.
lightning.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good lightning there, but really that's a 6 for 5, and it didn't kill the Inferno Tower.
I don't think the Inferno Tower was even really a threat.
Yeah.
So it was really just lightning a tower.
Yeah. And I almost wonder Patriots probably just played that for a cycle.
In the same vote here, it looks like that. I mean, that poison was great that it took out the Princess as well, but it seemed like the miner was just sort of getting it out of the hand to try to chip through some damage. Patriots obviously going to have to kind of pick his spots to get through here. Zap was super effective there. That little health Mega Minion. The fact that Mega Minion one-hits minions, if the Mega Minion can get sort of a tempo advantage, like the minions are distracted on something else, the Mega Minion just goes whack, 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 and takes out even the Horde pretty quickly. Ooh, that was a tough lightning, because remember, lightning goes after the biggest thing.
Yes.
And it's hard to hit the elixir collectors when the towers and the King Tower block in the way there.
All right, miner on the left side, and Patriots still hasn't used a miner poison combination, but it's getting pretty close to that time. If he plays Minor Poison, for example, on that left side tower, it could actually be brought pretty low, and we're in overtime now, so... Especially
because he just took about 400 there from that kind of like, not a throwaway push, but it was, you know, counterattack. It wasn't sort of the key thing that Patriots was putting his effort behind, and he was able still to get through a significant amount of damage, and now we're going to see the Minor... Oh no! He activated the King Tower!
I really wonder why.
I think he was trying to catch guards in there, or it might have just been a real fast click, like it just could have been a misclick there. But once again, as you pointed out before, Clyde's Minor came up a little too late, and those minions got picked off by the tower before the Minor could pop up. And here we go. I think this is going to be the if not the finisher, pretty close to it.
Yeah, that back corner that he's in, the King Tower can't reach it.
Oh, and the Zap takes out the Ice Spirit, and look at that. We are 1 poison away from Clyde advancing to his first top 4 appearance in a long... Oh, I'm sorry, Patriots advancing into his... I think 4th or 5th top 4 of the season.
Yeah.
He did get bumped in the top 8 round 1 week, but Patriots has been easily the most consistent player. And he actually, worth mentioning, Patriots, as he beats Season 1 champion Clyde to move into the top 4, Patriots said that he became a tournament player kind of on accident. He was playing, just enjoying Clash Royale like anyone else, started watching the SuperMagicalCup and got really obsessed with the idea of playing against these other tournament players, joined a big clan, and really pushed his way up, and now he is one of the premier tournament players in the game.